Hello there folks, welcome back to the tutorial series where we're going to be talking about all things filmmaking with your mobile phone. So guys, welcome. In today's video we're going to be filming with the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, and in particular we're going to be recording some nice B-roll sequences that can go into your little short films that you're going to create. So we're actually talking a little bit more about documentary over the art of making a short film, like a narrative-based short film, because documentary is quite easy to make, especially when you're in quarantine, in lockdown like we are right now, and I hope you're all staying safe and staying well as well. So we're actually going to be utilising some key areas that we can access whilst at home. So that is our house, maybe our living rooms, bathrooms, bedrooms, wherever, our garden if we have a garden, or driveway. And also we're going to be utilising our one daily exercise for the day, whether it's your dog walk, whether it's your daily run, whether it's your daily walk, whatever you choose to do on your daily exercise, we're going to be utilising that to make a short little film about it. So, basic filmmaking techniques. What is really important when you are shooting your films? So, of course, we record clips, and when we do our filmmaking with our big cameras and stuff like that, we make sure that we film in very short clips. So we don't actually ever go any further than 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, unless we're trying to make a time lapse or a hyperlapse. You know, a time lapse is one of those things where you film for like 10, 15 minutes, maybe you film for a whole day, and you squish that video all the way down into like a 15-second clip, and it shows all the stuff zooming across the screen. That's a really cool way of filming a time lapse or a hyperlapse, and there is actually an option for it to film on an iPhone and on a Samsung too. So we try to film in very short clips. So we choose around about 10 seconds per clip. So say for example you wanted to go outside and you wanted to film a 10-second clip of a plant blowing in the wind. So therefore you get your phone out, you hit record and you film that plant 10 seconds, hit stop. We're all done with that. And then you move on to your next clip and you compile all these very short little clips. And not only does that help with your sanity as well, but it helps with going through at the end on the edit. Because when you come to edit your clips, you don't want to be scrolling and scrubbing through the same clip. It's a tiny little bar and you're taking ages to get through to it all the way to the end. You want to make sure that you have succinct clips, all in order and in order of what you want to shoot. When I come to editing, once again, look at that. I'm organised and I'm ready to go. Organisation is a really, really important part of filmmaking. It makes it completely stress-free and it makes your films 10 times better. And something else for basic film technique, one final thing, is make sure that you choose the right location and the right story. So stories are really important, even in documentary stuff. So you think that, filming a Tiger King, for example, doesn't really have a story to it, does it? Well, it does. It has a story about Joe Exotic and his stuff. So I'm not going to talk about Tiger King anyway. So you need to make sure that you have a start, a middle, and an end to every video that you make. Make sure you have a good story. That'll improve your content tenfold. So, without further ado, let's get outside and film some content. So welcome, we're outside, we're in the garden. We're going to be doing some basic filming techniques, and something that you need to first know, it's really, really, really vital, is make sure you have a good solid case on your phone. You don't want to drop it, you don't want to break it, you don't want to smash it. None of that. That's awful, it's really bad. You don't want to upset yourself or anything like that. So if you drop your phone, at least you got some little kind of bit of protection, maybe. And it also helps too, because there's certain grip cases you can buy online that help you with filmmaking. They actually go and attach lenses onto it. You can attach a grip onto the side. There's some grips are absolutely amazing for the cases that you can get. So we're going to film a little sequence in our garden. We're going to try and utilize the space we have around us and make sure we get some nice clips. So something that's really important is you need to make sure that your settings are set like we did in the last video. And once they're all set and ready to go, you turn on your phone, you make sure your video is set up and ready to go, and you basically hit record. What could I possibly use that will make a good short cinematic sequence? So I'm going to go over to here. This plant looks quite nice. It's like a nice colour. It's got some nice lighting on one side. It's got the shadow on the other side. So that is kind of okay for me to use, I reckon, as a start. So I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to hover over it. If I tap the screen, that allows me to set my focus on the actual area. So I tap the screen, I set the focus on the plant, I hit record for that 10 seconds. And nice and blowing in the wind there, so that's all right. Don't worry about audio. We'll talk about that in another episode. And then there is 10 seconds and a nice stop recording. So that is my very first clip to add to my compiled collection. If I had my notebook on me, I get my notebook out and I tick off that particular shot. So let's move around. Let's have a look at something else we can do. What I've noticed in my garden in particular, we have some nice bee activity, bee and wasp activity in particular. So we have a little look around and see if we can find any bees or wasps. Let's have a look and see. There's normally quite a good selection over there, so let's come over this way. There's one actually right there, perfect. Okay, so I see a bee there. I want to make sure my shadow is out the way because the sun is directly behind me, just up there. So I want to make sure my shadow's out the way. So I step to this side here in particular. I drop down nice and low. I get the right angle. Come in nice and close. I hit record. And there we go, there's my bee. Perfect. There's another clip to add to the collection. So something that's really important that you don't want to do is zoom in, because with your phone in particular, your camera, a lot of the time you don't have multiple cameras and you can't really zoom. So there's two types of zoom. There's optical zoom and there's digital zoom. And digital zoom isn't done very well in a phone. As soon as you start to zoom in, it gets pixelated and it goes kind of grainy and nasty. It doesn't look very good. So you want to make sure that you utilize the lens that you have on your camera. Sometimes, especially in the likes of my phone in particular, I have two settings. I have a wide zoom and I have a close zoom. That's because it has a telephoto lens and it has a wide lens as well. So therefore, if I click one or the other, it allows you to come in and out without necessarily affecting the overall quality of the shot. But as soon as I start to pinch in, it then gets grainy and nasty. We don't want that to happen at all. So we need to utilize the shot. So if, for example, I want to shoot nice and close on a plant down here, I need to go nice and close with my camera to shoot it. I need to make sure the focus is set and we're ready to go. Now, something that kind of can count as basic, but also advanced at the same time, we need to start movement in our shots. So I'm still with the bee here. So I can see the bee here and it's sort of like flying around a bit, but I want to see these plants moving in the wind. That's quite nice. So I'm going to come in close, I'm going to set my focus again, hit record, and what I'm going to do this time, it's a bit different, is I'm going to move the camera down a little bit. Just slightly lower myself down, past all the plants, 10 seconds and stop. So therefore now I've got some movement in my shot, it's a bit nicer. And maybe I want to do a final shot of this whole sequence, and maybe I want to make a nice wide shot of my garden. First of all, don't put your house in the shot. You don't want to see your house or your house number or anything like that. Don't give your address away. Make sure you stay as neutral as possible. Okay, I want to take a wide shot of the plant bed in particular now. So I'm going to step back. I'm going to make sure my entire frame is in use. I'm going to hit record and I'm going to stop for a second at 10 seconds. And then I have my clip. Stop recording. And that's it. That's my little sequence. So I've got my establishing wide shot, I've got my closer shot of the plant, closer shot of the bee, nice tracking shot, and I'm probably going to end it there. It's nothing massive, it's nothing major, it kind of works, I think. There's other things we can do. Maybe look, there's a bird flying past there, maybe we can look up towards the sky and take a nice shot of the sky. Let's do that actually right now. Let's take a nice shot of the sky. Doesn't have to be any particular angle as long as you've got a nice angled shot. I've got a nice tree in this frame. I'm going to do a 5-second shot of this one, nice and even, perfect. And then, so I've got those shots, I've got all those bits and pieces. I think I can compile together a nice little B-roll segment of my garden in particular using my phone. So yeah, that's it for the basic technique, guys. The only other thing that I would actually mention is when we set up our grid lines, it's really important that we utilize them as well. It's called the rule of thirds. So as you see on the grid lines on the screen in the setup video, there was a line and a line, and we can still see it on our phone now. Whenever we go into video mode, we can see the grid lines come up. As long as you utilize your grid lines and make sure your subjects are on either the left line or the right line or in the center of the grid, make sure you set up your shot to make it look as artistic as possible. But yes guys, that is it for the basic tutorial technique. Back to the studio. So that's actually it when it comes to filmmaking and setting up your phone. So without further ado, make sure you like this video if you did enjoy, and don't forget to comment whether you've set up your phone. If you're having any difficulties, make sure you comment in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to help you out with anything that you need to help out with. And of course, make sure you stay tuned for the next episode, because we're going to be talking all things filming and we're going to get on with it click that record button and get filming some content. I'm going to teach you all the basic techniques for filmmaking, and then we're going to go into the next day, talk a little bit about advanced techniques, and finally uploading and editing your clips. So thanks very much guys, speak to you in the next one.